gonna find it in the next episode, which is this one, because I already ended it. Anyway, welcome back to more open world game, the open world game, where I only have 5 collectibles left to find, and absolutely no time, absolutely no way to gauge which direction they are. There are 4 in this grassy plains area, covered in forests. Once I'm in this dark green stuff, I have no way of telling which way is, I have no way of telling how far I've traveled, because it's all one color. Well, what? You're kidding. Priorities. Impossible odds. You're kidding, right? I need 1 more of these, and 2 more of those. There's just no way. That means I'm 99% complete, and I just need to find these last 2 weapons, which means one is here, and the other one is in Little Caves. So I was just aimlessly wandering, and happened upon that. The really sad part about having to find the last thing is giant grassy plain. What? What? I was about to say it's massive, and I'll never find it. Sad part about trying to find the last thing with them is that it is kind of mazy, right? Which means it's difficult to remember which ways I've gone and which ways I haven't. Like, I've traveled this path so many times, but then we're going down. There's nothing down. Going this way. Nothing this way. We're gonna go left. And there's nothing left. So, we're gonna travel back this way. And this way? Did I come from this way? I can't see, I'm already lost. There's nothing over there. Is there something over here? I am currently lost. We're gonna check. I'm missing an achievement. I'm missing an achievement. Wait, I'm missing 2. Oh, read every journal entry. Okay. I do not plan to actually read all of these. I am, however, interested in the main quest. Let me just recap this real quick because I read this one out loud. Okay. You traveled to Leodom and were suddenly arrested. Also in custody was the man painted with stone and wearing a decorative claw. The man you've been searching for. You were both brought to a chopping block outside of Leodom to be executed with no escape in sight. You lay your head down and accepted death. Just then, the mighty roar of a dragon pierced the heavens and sent everyone into a state of panic. This is just Skyrim. As the dragon laid waste to the land, you and the man painted with stone made your escape, protected from fire and flames by your plot armor. You and your companion reached safety. Plot man thanked you for saving him and reintroduced himself as Gesh. You made yourself a sandwich while he told you all about this world. Excuvia, the world without a home. World Excuvia is full of the unfinished, but Gesh and his companions hope to bring change to the world. If you want to know more, you need to return to the starting cave, which is actually the secret hideout for Gesh's society, restorers. Waiting for you at the cave, the by the angled tree, I thought it was the sideways tree, whatever, was the woman named Seal. Somehow she was expecting you, and she guided you to the restorer's hideout, the Rising Sands. Gesh was there, introduced you to the rest of the restorers. He then told you about the great mist dragon that has been terrorizing the land. He wanted you to find out more about the dragon, directed you to travel to Absenti to besiege the ancient historian for information. You were free to go wherever you wanted, but travel to Absenti and meet with the ancient historian. Oh, but to travel to Absenti and meet with the ancient historian, you must return to the Rising Sands and set out with Hroth the Halfling. You travel to Absenti with your fellow restorer Hroth. On the way, he told you about how Gesh first convinced him to join the restorers. He also confessed that this was his first time outside of Argania, which made you puzzle why Gesh picked him to be your guide. Yeah, that's a good question. Inside the town of Absenta, you found the ancient historian, a humble-looking dwarf sitting in a stupor. I can't pronounce that. Outside the local inn. As you went to speak to her, a group of out-of-practice assassins surround you. After dispatching the mysterious assassins, you and Hroth speak with the ancient historian. She introduced herself as Varys and promised to tell you all you wanted to know if you would put her up at the inn for the night. After paying for the room and after paying for room and board, you sat down dinner and asked about the mist dragon. Varys told you that the dragon is most likely Hrothgar, the oldest being of Excuvia. The great dragon is only one of many forms of Hrothgar, as one of the many forms Hrothgar has been depicted as over the years, but the most common. In the morning, Hroth convinced Varys to travel back to the Rising Sands, where you must travel as well eventually. You arrived back at the Rising Sands along with Hroth and Varys, only to find the hideout empty and in shambles. You found an injured elf hiding in the shadows. It was one of the restorers you met before, Rie. Varys cast a healing spell on the elf, and she sprung right up and explained what happened. A group of spotty assassins that looked like the ones that attacked you in Absenti attacked the hideout. Gesh and the others escaped through a secret tunnel in the back that leads to the city of Skyarch. Rie got hit in the leg with an arrow during the attack and was unable to make it to the tunnel before they had to seal it off. She had been hiding ever since, waiting for you. Rie was a Skyarchian, or has a Skyarchian device she can use to contact Gesh, and she'll wait for your return to the Moving Sands when you are ready to find him. You had Rie contact Gesh, who immediately answered. Through the static of the connection, you could hear very stressed Gesh tell you that their arrival in Skyarch did not go as planned. He urged you to head to Pin Tower to meet as soon as possible. You, Froth, Freeze, and Rie travel to Skyarch, try and get directions to Pin Tower. You all looked very out of place in Skyarch. You also struggled to find a person who you could ask for directions, as everyone tried to sell you something. Eventually, someone offered to show you the way to Pin Tower, but led you into an ambush by some thugs with stun batons that quickly overpowered you. You woke up, find yourself in a small prison with 6 cells. Cells in the cells were the other restorers, Froth, Freeze, Ryu, and Seal. The last cell was occupied by a mysterious hooded figure. Seal loudly whispered from the cell to you that Gesh was on his way. Soon after, Gesh himself had appeared at the bottom of the stairs to free you. As you made your way out of your cell, the hooded figure reached out through the bars and grabbed you. Don't trust him, he hissed in your ear. Gesh came to your aid, striking the hooded figure back, and you both left him behind. Safe outside, the restorers decided to split up and return to the most likely safe again, Rising Sands. You met up with the restorers back at the usual hideout and found out that the time spent in Skyarch wasn't entirely a waste. Gesh tracked down the headquarters of the assassins that had been plaguing you, and Seal spent some time spying on their organization. The group is actually a cult called Vothians, who worship Vothgar and are trying to restore it to its full power. She also heard some vague information about a magic ring somewhere near Tranquil Vacation Town, Lake of Fire, something to do with Fothgar. Gesh decided that the restorers must be the first to get this magic ring and sent everyone to the Lake of Fire. Once there, you met up with an old friend of Seal, fire elf named Enel. The Lake of Fire was somewhat infamous for its thriving community, I can read, of artisans that produced many peculiar magic rings, and Enel has one of the largest collections in town. He showed you one particularly excessive ring that looked like a loop of diamond scales, and explained that while the potential magic inside it was vast, no one yet could determine the purpose of its magic. It sounded like the kind of ring that you were after, so you persuade Enel to join up with the restorers. You all took the ring and began your journey back to the Rising Sands. Found the restorers back in the Rising Sands, waiting for Gesh to return so they could tell him about the ring. In the meantime, they had captured a mysterious hooded figure who was snooping around the fallen tree that marks the entrance, and had him tied up in a corner. It was the same hooded figure that you left locked in the cell back at Skyarch. His fortunes had not improved. The man begged to speak to you and told you his name was Anthamin. On me. I'm not gonna attempt that again. That guy was one of the beastmen from the Infinite Waste. You call him Them. Hey Them. He came to warn you about Gesh, who he said visited the Vothian headquarters many times and has probably been one of them all along. You initially scoffed at the notion, but then Seal ran in to tell you that Gesh had just been spotted leading an army of Vothians back with him. You confronted Gesh, and he revealed that Vothgar is actually long dead, but his power can still be harnessed. The ring in your possession is called the Dragon's Eye and is one of 3 Vothian artifacts that can be used together at Vothgar's shrine near the mist to imbue the wielder with the ancient power of Vothgar. The 2 other artifacts are the Stone Scales and the Mistbearer Claw, which Gesh has been wearing the entire time. Wow. He demanded the Dragon's Eye so he could ascend to be the great ruler of Exuvia that he was always destined to be. You tried in vain to resist him, but were struck down and lost the ring. As your consciousness faded, blinding flash of light covered the battlefield, and you felt yourself being lifted up, hopefully being carried back to the rising sands. You awoke to find yourself surrounded by the other restorers, who were all ecstatic to see you awake. There's Thom, who blinded the Vothians with a common beastman weapon and aided in your escape. Gesh apparently had no time to waste and set off to the west with his army to the shrine of Hrothgar. Battered and tired, you still managed to rouse the others to race after Gesh and stop his sinister plan. Hrothgar, Seal, Grease, Enel, and Thom will join your surprise counterattack against the Vothians. Amidst the chaos of the battlefield, you make out Gesh running back to the shrine, and you chased after him. You could not stop him as he made it to the inner sanctum, where the shrine gives way to the deep void of mist. In that moment, when all seemed lost, in a large dragon roar shook the air, and your very bones. A gigantic dragon ate Gesh, and he was gone. Valiant soon retreated, and the restorers stood victorious. Filled with excitement, shock, and abounding camaraderie, you decide that the next step is simply to go out and explore Excuvia, trying to make the world a better place, with a world full of discoveries ahead of each of them. Everyone returns to, no doubt, the Rising Sands. You receive a letter from Thom with directions to meet him in the Infinite Waste. Reunited, he greets you warmly and tells you that there is someone waiting to meet you. Travel together to a shrine near the mist that bears the telltale architecture of a Hrothgar shrine. At the edge of the mist, Thom calls out to the void and is answered back by a loud roar. The same gigantic dragon that ate Gesh on that fateful day swoops out of the mist and then shapeshifts down to the size of a man. He's wearing 3 artifacts of Hrothgar, and his skin is like ornate scale armor. He introduces himself as Hrothgar. Apparently, he has been watching over you for some time and thanks you for returning his artifacts, even though if he was really watching, he'd know you didn't do much. There's a great war amongst dragons happening inside the mist, and these powerful artifacts are helping him once again gain control over the world of dragons. Hrothgar says he sees a lot of himself in you and is glad that you two could finally meet. He will continue to watch over you and takes joy in your success for now, though, you must return to the mist. The realm of dragons is in chaos, and without his guidance, that chaos could spill into the already struggling land of Excuvia. With words of encouragement, Hrothgar morphs back into his mighty dragon form and takes to the skies before gliding back into the mist. Amazed at your newly found friend, continue your travels in the world of Excuvia. Alright, and now we'll just click on everything else. That was actually a quite interesting story. For a game which is just an open world RPG joke. It could have been so much worse. Coffee. I will get all of the achievements for this game. Generic fetch quest. Hilarious. I'm just gonna... Well, I was gonna say I'm gonna pause while I do this, but you know what? Now's a pretty great time for a story. Story about why I don't stream or record Animal Crossing. Once upon a time, there was an idiot who didn't know you couldn't transfer saves, Animal Crossing saves, from one Switch to another, because it's tied to the Switch and not the Nintendo account. By the way, that idiot was me, in case you weren't aware, but I think that's pretty clear. Side quest name. So I got one stream in from the original town, or island, or whatever, and I was playing on a Switch that was not mine. You're over. Anyway, so, because I have a Switch Lite, so getting 15-pound fish, a fish, alpha fish, beta fish, sibling. So after starting over on my Switch Lite, I have I've borrowed a Fan's Town to transfer all of my items and money. Well, it's one of every kind of fruit tree that I'd collected. I now have every kind of fruit tree on my new island. Because I got cherries in the mail from Mom. And that was the only fruit that I was missing. This is gonna take an age, isn't it? Anyway, so after dropping off all my things in Fan's Town, I took my newly created save, visited his town, and picked everything back up. Which, needless to say, took age. Because not only did I take multiple trips with a fully upgraded inventory, in order to drop it all off, I then had to pick it all back up with an unupgraded inventory. Which took ages. But I got it done. And now I have all my things on my Switch Lite. So I'll probably be taking clips from things that I do and maybe exporting them into a YouTube video with post commentary at some point, but unfortunately I can't directly capture what's going on. I'd have to, use the Nintendo Switch capture button. I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to buy a Switch Lite, regular Switch. Mirror snakes? Okay. Pretty sweet. I read every journal entry. Huh? Got an achievement called Anticlimactic. Wait, does that mean that was the last achievement? Yep. Alright. I mean, I guess that'll do it for open world game, the open world game. If you enjoyed, thanks for watching, and leave a like. Have a great whatever time it is. Bye.